This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
This is the sound of your ride home with Dad after he caught you vaping. Awkward, isn't it? Most vapes contain seriously addictive levels of nicotine and disappointment. Know the real cost of vapes. Brought to you by the FDA.
This is what you do when you've just found that statement handbag on eBay and you want to build an entire wardrobe around it. You start selling to keep buying. Yep, on eBay. Over that all-black everything phase? List it and buy all the color. Feeling more vintage than ever? It's out with the new and in with the pre-loved. Next thing you know, you've refreshed your wardrobe basically without spending a dime. Yeah, eBay, the place to buy and sell new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion.
What's up, everybody? It's ImmaLetYouFinish, show number 210 on the Pantheon Podcast Network with your host, Courtney. Take it away, Amy.
Hey! So, it's the time of year where everybody's flipping out. Not us. We're cool as the proverbial cucumber. But, all joking aside, it's good to take care of yourself. It's good to sort of set goals to be healthy. And one way you can do that with this fantastic herbal tea and wellness shot called Tea Tonic. And it's organic herbal tea tonics and mother-daughter company, which we love. Independent company. You're not giving your money to big business. They have all sorts of teas, organic teas for your tummy, for your adrenals, for just overall feel good. So teas, wellness shots. So if you go on to TEAONIC.myshopify.com and use our code IMMA5967, you will get yourself 20% off. So we will post that. But mother-daughter team, experts in holistic, take care of yourself. So Tea Tonic, and we will post the information. And I could use one of those right now. How about you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. So let's get started with another example when people who you're not really crazy about end up doing really good things and they're really nice people, and you have to kind of go, Taylor Swift, once again, the Eras Tour is finally over. 3 years, 2.5 years?
2 years. 2 years.
International, like for real.
Like she went around the globe like twice.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and not just like spot dates, like extended long periods of time. It grossed $2 billion. I'm doing my what's his name? Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil. Mm-hmm.
$2 billion. $2 billion. And when she would come to town, they literally now have a term called the Taylor economy. She comes to town and generates. It's like, imagine if the Super Bowl came to your country and your town every week to gin up money. So people, and then she gave her crew, what was it, $197 million in bonuses?
Can you imagine? It's like, can I get a piece of that check somewhere?
Yeah, really. I mean, we're talking about not just the guys, the lighting people,
everybody,
or the choreographer, the merch table. Everybody.
To show listen, touring is hard. It's fun for people, but it's very hard. You're away from your family. You are going around the world. You're in different cities. And depending on the job you have, if you're pulling up and taking down stages, it's serious work. It's hard work.
Yeah. And you're not getting out of there till 2 a.m. and then having to come back at 10 a.m.
And if you look at just even the way the merch happened with her tour, they would open the merch stands. She had some that would be stationed outside like the day before, and there'd be people online for hours to buy her merch. They had to put limits. Remember in the beginning, people were lining up who weren't even going to the show, and they were buying a bunch of the merch and then reselling it at inflated prices.
Well, her Target only book sold 800,000 copies in 1 week. It's a book.
Madness.
And
the Target exclusive of Tortured Poet Society vinyl that they put out sold over 400,000 physical copies the first week. Basically sold it out everywhere.
She's never done a Christmas record, has she?
No, she's never done. She has a
She has a song because she grew up on a Christmas tree farm.
But she is not, which is I believe is the name of the song. I think it's Christmas Tree Farm.
Yeah.
But she has never put out a Christmas record.
She don't have to. She could put out a record for like Ramadan. She could put out a record for any. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, what her next moves are. I'm very happy I'm actually more interested in not seeing her stupid boyfriend and his stupid MAGA sister-in-law. MAGA teammate. Excuse me.
Right.
I don't want to see the sister-in-law seems fun. I don't want to see Britney with an N.
You know what's interesting though?
With an N.
Yeah. What's interesting going back to Taylor is it started some discourse because Billboard was doing their list of what they do, the top 20 or 25 pop artists of the 21st century. And she came in at number 2 and Beyonce came in at number 1. And, there's been a lot of discourse with some of the fans. And it's so interesting how people... we always talk about, people always say, you don't want to make things about race. You make everything about race in America. But man, some of the response...
Everything is about race in America. I mean, come on.
Right. And some of the response from people who call themselves her fans have been quite racist toward Beyonce being number 1. Now, even Billboard said, if we were talking about pure just sales and volume and numbers, Taylor Swift would be number 1. She'd be above everybody. Yeah. They talked about Beyonce's 25 years, which is longer than Taylor's career, of influence and making hits and shaping and changing culture. It actually makes sense to me. Beyonce is somebody that Taylor Swift actually looked up to, so it actually makes sense. But I'm happy for Taylor Swift. You and I have talked about it a lot. Like, she's not our cup of tea. We appreciate her. We appreciate that she writes her songs. Listen, one of the hardest things to actually do is because I think a bunch of her songs are quite simple, but the hardest thing to do is to write a simple song with a catchy melody that catches on to a bunch of people the way it is. You know what I mean?
That's why when people denigrate pop music, I'm like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, it's hardest thing to do. And
think about the great pop songs we grew up with. They were 3 minutes, right?
Yep, of pure pop perfection.
Right.
And she writes earworms that people, they love to sing them. They resonate with them. It means something. You don't have to like it to appreciate that. And then when you see that someone's actually a good person, and they take care of the people that work for them.
I find it annoying.
You're always going to get a hand clap from me.
No, I'm a pop girl. I'm the one who's been waking up for the last 2 weeks with Born with a Broken Heart in my freaking head. He is so fucking good looking.
You really like it. You and Miguel.
I know.
Both.
I hit up Miguel and I went, whoo. I mean, come on. If you're going to be a rock star, look like one.
Yeah.
Of course, he's got a dopey American girlfriend with a face of Botox, but that's okay.
I mean, I feel like we're not going to get past this era of everybody with the duck lips and the...
No, she doesn't have duck lips. She doesn't have duck lips.
She doesn't have the duck lips?
She just has freakishly good skin at that young of an...
Well, that doesn't mean that she has Botox.
No. You can tell. There's nothing moving.
Right.
No, she doesn't have duck lips. I don't even want to talk about her because she's in the way of my love for this man who seems like a perfectly nice guy. You know what? Okay, I think one day we should do a show about men who aren't accused of something.
We've it's been a long time since we've done a men behaving badly show. We did two of them. There's always so much material for those shows. It's like
and around the holidays at those parties. All right, so Jay-Z has been named in a lawsuit. All right, so when the whole Diddy thing happened, everybody was, I think the word is schadenfreude, where you take pleasure in the pain of others.
Yeah.
So people were kind of like tick, tick, boom, and the internet, and who's that crazy girl that
Jaguar Wright.
Yeah, Jaguar Wright, bless her heart. Great first album. I'm telling you, that first album of hers was great.
Really talented.
It was really talented, but she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Anyway, allegedly. But, so everybody was like, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before this one. They all go down. It's only a matter of time.
They seem to have a real hard-on for wanting Jay to be caught in something. People really seem to have a hard-on. Now, for him, for whatever reason.
I mean, we've discussed it. I have only met Jay-Z twice, both in professional circumstances. I was interviewing him. He couldn't have been nicer. He couldn't have been more professional. He was nice to my son, which means a lot actually to me, because I was dragging the kid around. He seems like a nice guy. He's a smart guy. If you see him on talk shows, he's hilarious. I just think people, sometimes we like to see people fall from their high perch. And I do think that the Jay-Z of Jay and Beyonce engenders a lot more hostility than the Jay-Z of Jay-Z. I think we want to knock her down a peg too. And I think, look, I hope he's innocent. Okay. I don't want to see anybody credibly accused of anything. And it hasn't been, it's just been a law. It's a civil case at this point, right?
Yes, it's a civil case at this point.
And the lawyer is known as being a little bit of a sexual abuse ambulance chaser, which is not taking away from the fact that it very well may have happened. But the thing is, Jay put out a letter the next day that was like, as I said, tell me your publicist and your lawyer didn't look at the letter without telling me your publicist and your lawyer didn't look at it. It was so weird.
I found it so they put it on the Rock Nation page, not his page. It was unsigned. It felt like...
Yeah, it was a lot.
You know what's really funny?
A lot of capital letters.
I used to get really angry when you get the statement that was so clearly not in the voice and written by the person who's supposedly doing it, right? You know, that, right? And then when you get one, you feel like this feels like a stream of consciousness moment, then it's also, that doesn't all the way feel right either. I mean...
He's pissed.
He is pissed.
You know what? He has more to lose in a lot of ways. If this is true, I hope it's not true for her sake and for his sake. He has more to lose in a lot of ways than Diddy does, because Jay is in bed with, no pun intended, real money, sports money, NFL money. He's got
not just NFL. Rock Nation Sports has football.
Well, I'm talking about the halftime game.
We're about to come back to that. He's got, with Rock Nation Sports, you've got basketball players,
right?
NFL players. You've got football players, soccer from your
real stuff.
You've got real people signed there, and this is a company. This is the danger of one person being a face of a company, which is almost like if you watch the Martha Stewart doc, it talks about Martha Stewart was the face of Martha Stewart when the whole prison thing happens and how that shook up the company. He is Rock Nation to everyone, right? So you have this going on. And in a lot of cases, accusations are enough to make people flee. Rock Nation just re-signed their deal with the NFL to keep advising and working on the halftime shows. If this had been anybody else, I feel like an accusation in the NFL would have been trying to separate itself. So you're right. He's got a lot to lose because he is very corporate now. He does so many corporate things.
Mainstream white people corporate. I mean, as much as Diddy was in the mix and stuff like that, you know what? He was still Jay is still known as an artist than Diddy was for sure. But I think when you're going out to dinner with Roger Goodell, that's real power.
Yeah.
When you can determine who's going to be performing at the biggest musical event of the year, which is the Super Bowl, that halftime show is huge. So yeah, I hope it's not true because I don't want to think badly of anybody. I hope it's not true.
Well, we hope it's not true because it's a horrendous act. It's a horrendous accusation.
I hope it's not true. I hope it's not true.
If a 13-year-old young lady was drugged and raped, that is horrendous.
Horrible.
And for her, what must she have been living with? Because this allegedly happened in the year 2000. So we're talking 24 years of that.
No, it's absolutely horrible.
Traumatic.
Anybody's drugged. I mean, it's a horrible, horrible thing. So I hope for her sake, I hope this is, it's bad, but it's suddenly been very quiet. Like it happened. Well, Foxy, I hate these things. These go posted a cryptic post. I'm like, everything's cryptid on the internet because no one's using words.
Right.
They're using pictures. So posted a cold face. What does that even mean?
And I sometimes believe when you have people like 50 Cent, who's, been...
Well, bless his heart.
And doing all that. I think that's for their own good. Like, this is serious stuff. These allegations. This is serious stuff. He's fighting, though. Listen, he is like, I did not do this. I'm not going down without a fight. He wants the accuser to be named publicly. And we'll see what happens.
They usually don't name, but isn't that usually the case in my years of watching Law and Order? Someone has come forward. One woman has come forward in the Diddy case. She has said who it was. She's this woman who was married to a hockey player.
Yeah.
There are black hockey players? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Bones Malone once said that the most hip hop sport in the world is hockey because people walk around with sticks hitting each other.
And they're allowed to fight.
They're allowed to fight. It's part of the game.
They let them fight for a while, then they break it up. Every other sport is like...
I know. It's like, don't fight.
People are gasping that people might actually fight.
Hockey players are like, wait, I only have 3 teeth. Mm-hmm. I need to lose more of them. Anyway, all right, so we'll talk about something nice now, something uplifting and nice and wonderful, and another example of people I can't stand, and yet they turn out... Oh, no, I should take that back. Music I can't stand. But it turns out the people who make it are really good people. So my feelings on Coldplay are internationally known. Internationally, look up Coldplay in the dictionary. Internationally known. When you say the word, even my therapist, when she goes, "Oh my God!" Every time I read something about Coldplay,
I think about you. You started what people don't know, and it's a story we will not share today. Amy started an international incident. Over her opinions on Coldplay. And
opinions, mind you, that everybody has.
An international incident.
Yeah, there are certain countries I'm not allowed in. Yeah, I'm going to be on Kash Patel's hit list because of this.
Which I personally, still to this day,
it's great.
Did not think it was that controversial. I was like,
no,
doesn't everybody feel like that? But okay.
Yes, everybody feels like that.
Listen, and Chris Martin is probably a really nice person.
No, that's the problem with this. So Chris Martin has proven himself. I interviewed Chris Martin once on the phone. I had a concussion at the time, so I don't know. But he's just like super nice. He seemed concerned that I had a concussion. But anyway, he has done a video for a song called All My Love, which is just like a schlocky fucking song, but that's not the point of it. It stars Dick Van Dyke, who is going to be 99, who, oh my God, da 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 da.
Playing.
Yeah. Dick Van Dyke, and it's a beautiful 7.5-minute video, and it's basically Dick Van Dyke reflecting on his life. There's scenes from the Dick Van Dyke Show and Chim Chimmery and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and all the great stuff that we loved when we were kids. There's him and his family and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and probably great-great-grandchildren, and Chris Martin sitting in a backyard playing the piano. So Coldplay, if I were Coldplay, I'd be like, I guess he gave them the wrong day for the shoot or something, like, because them and the guys from Maroon 5, including the black guy that you didn't know was in Maroon 5, but you keep, anyway.
I had no
it's a
idea.
Beautiful, I know. Well, anyway, Spike Jonze directed.
I still can't even name anybody else in Coldplay.
Me neither. It's cold.
Like, how many of them are in the group?
4. It's a 4-piece group. Okay. There's a drummer, there's a bass player, there's a guitar player, and then there's Chris Martin. And I don't know whether they split the publishing. I don't know whether it's like a U2 and REM situation where they split the publishing evenly, which is how you keep a band together. I have to imagine they do, because they would have broken up by now. I mean, let's be honest. But anyway, it's a beautiful song. I mean, no, it's a stupid song, but it's a beautiful video, and it gives you all the feels. And, it's just very, very sweet. How they came up with Dick Van Dyke, I have to imagine Spike Jonze thought of it. I can't imagine Chris Martin, even though he's been in America for years and has an American wife, basically, or has had an American wife and has now basically another American wife, how he would come up with Dick Van Dyke. But it's quite lovely, but the song sucks. And then at the end, he plays like a little made up on the spot song. It's very cute. But now I have to say nice things about Chris Martin for a whole week. But I started the week at the beginning of the week. So at the end of the week, I don't have to say anything nice about him again. Whew.
I still can't name anybody else in Coldplay.
I can't either. Nobody can. Nobody can. Let me tell you something. If and when they do get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which they probably will, they will have to Google who the other people in that group are. Because they're going to say Chris Martin and those other guys. They literally would put on the plaque. He's obviously, but they seem very nice people. And so it's a beautiful song. All right. So you know how you have your artist every once in a while, you're suddenly like, shit, this is their moment. Like, I am watching it in real time. Doecchi, this is her moment, man. She is like, her tiny desk is, I would say, next to the Juvenile and maybe even the Usher one.
Yeah.
The Usher one was great. The Juvenile one was great. The Anthony Hamilton one was great, but that's because he brought the Hamiltons with him. But this Doecchi tiny desk is like, this is a woman who has a vision, artistically, creatively, visually, lyrically. She's bringing it back to old school boom bap. It's funny. The songs are great. She's rapping on the beat. What a concept.
Right.
The band is great. It's just, she did the Colbert Show. It was great. This is her moment. Her album, which is one of my favorite albums, I think one of your favorite albums of the year, is making top 10, top 20 lists. She's up for a Grammy. This is a great...
Four Grammys.
4 Grammys, including Best New Artist. This is a great, selling campaign for the Grammys. Not to be cynical, but the Grammy voting starts soon, right? Because the Grammys are in February.
It's now that once they've... The nominations came out and the ballots, I believe, were sent out and you can vote. Listen, she's somebody that the gays, we've been loving for the last few years. I'm glad the moment is coming now. I really felt like it really started to, first of all, she's been bubbling and doing things for a long time. She was one of the artists that Beyonce asked to open for her birthday show, Renaissance Tour, 2 years ago.
Okay.
And she had a song last year that was all over the radio called What It Is, Block Boy, which is a great song, great video. What I love about her is she's a fully formed artist.
That's what I'm saying. She's coming in with everything.
She's got a point. She's got a point of view. She's got something to say. Her visuals are really interesting. There's art there, because that... It feels so rare these days because a lot of the times what we're seeing, especially in female hip hop, and this is not a judgment. This is not a judgment. Don't yell at me, people. I feel like lately what it's been is just a lot of ass shaking and nakedness, which is fine. But if everybody's doing that, it's not special to see somebody twerking and shaking their ass and having their ass out. She gives me, even when her ass has been out, there's been an art to it, Well, she's giving, the person I thought of, she's coming fully conceived. And the person I thought of, and
And it doesn't feel like anyone's putting it together, even though obviously people are working with her. The first time Janelle Monáe, that's the only other person I can think of in terms of, that kind of full on package. Like, and it doesn't feel Chappell Roan to a point too. I mean,
these are the people who they have a team that helps them. But these are
in the beginning, though Gaga's changing it too much these days.
These are ideas that you can tell they are forming, and they're like, they know who they are as artists.
And it's unusual in a lot of ways in rap, because rap is so much usually of the moment, of the groove, of the beat, to sit there and have the time to get an entire sort of thing together. Missy did it. I mean, you hear a lot of Missy in her.
Absolutely.
You hear a lot, which is, she's just really, really good. But
the Tiny Desk is really great. The Tiny Desk have been on fire. Do you know whose Tiny Desk premieres tomorrow at noon?
Malene Farmer?
No, Billie Eilish.
That's
tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon, they're dropping a Billie Eilish. Listen.
So this is now it is a marketing campaign now at this point.
I don't even know.
I mean, I'm not saying it in a bad way, because you're the one, you love marketing, but this is now, it's kind of gone because the original, from what I remember, the original Tiny Desk was artists you might not have heard of otherwise, and we're going to give them a showcase. Now it's like the new MTV Unplugged.
A little bit, but we still are seeing some of those new artists get in there. But yes, they definitely have stacked it with some names, but they've also stacked it with some interesting people. Like Teedra Moses had one a couple of weeks ago, and Teedra Moses is excellent. And her album that she had, that I believe was like 20 years old, was excellent. So they've really pulled in, and I love that we've gotten to see some from Latin artists and different.
But Billie Eilish is going to be, she's going to kill. It's going to kill. I mean, that's another one of my favorite actors. She's going to kill. That girl's a absolute consummate performer. When I hear people criticizing her, I'm like, you're out of your mind. Like, what more do you want? She can write great songs, and she sings, and she doesn't sound like everybody else.
Right.
People are jerks. No. People are dopes. All right. You were talking about the gays before, loving people.
Mm-hmm.
You know who doesn't love the gays because he thinks it's gay and it's not gay, but it really is gay?
Oh,
okay,
God.
So, we're going to give you a little primer. Long ago, in the 70s, there was a group called the Village People, and a gay man put them together, and he had them dress as a fire. Was there a fireman? No, there was a cop. There was an Indian chief. There was a cowboy. There was a construction worker. There was a motorcycle guy. Gay stereotypes to be sure, but gay stereotypes. They were a studio creation. They performed at gay clubs. They performed at gay festivals. They sang songs like "In the Navy,"
Hot Cop,
San Francisco,
Fire Island.
Right. And they, I guess they didn't have a song called "Bring the Lube," for fuck's sake. I mean, Jesus Christ. Or Poppers, They were like gay, which is fine. That's what was fun about them. Okay. And then YMCA, of course, which became this, it's fun to stay at that. All right. And it's at baseball games, and Trump uses it. Okay. So first, the Village People tried to cease and desist with Trump, because they were like, we don't want you using this song because it's our song, and we don't like you, and you hate gay people. Suddenly now, Victor Willis, a.k.a. the straight guy in the group, who still dresses like, he looks like an idiot. He dresses like a cop, right?
The fact that he was still, when I saw him doing an interview talking about this, and he was still dressed like a cop.
But he looks more like Paul Blart Mall Cop now.
It was so
bad.
I was like, this is diabolical that you
he's horrible.
This is insane.
No, he looks like a cop who's been at Dunkin' Donuts for like 100 years. So anyway, all of a sudden now, a song that is like gay, which is fine. Also, oh no, it's not a gay song. Just because a gay guy co-wrote it and a gay guy started the group and everybody in the group was gay and only gay people listened to it and we only performed at gay clubs, it's not gay. And anyone who says it's gay, here's the best part, I'm gonna sue you.
Wait.
And he's a MAGA guy now too.
I want to say this too. YMCA is on an album called Cruising. And here are the songs on Cruising.
Please, is this the soundtrack? The soundtrack
the album. No, Cruising.
All right.
I have the Cruising soundtrack. That's a punk rock, underground rock soundtrack. Yeah. It's a really good record. YMCA, The Women, I'm a Cruiser, Hot Cop, My Roommate, and Ups and Downs.
There you go. But nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here, folks.
No dick sucking to see here, folks.
No gayness going on here.
Nothing happening.
Like I said, the Village people might as well just call themselves Friday Night at the Saint.
No, and he was saying, I don't mind if people think it as an anthem and gay people think of it as all of those things, but it's not a gay song. I'm like, 35, 40 years later, this is the declaration now. Okay, great.
Well, because he wants to get it. Yeah, no, it's like great. That's great. It's like mean. Yeah, okay. But it's just I'm going to sue you. No,
in my cop uniform.
In my cop uniform, looking like Paul Blart Mall Cop.
And on that note, we're going to take a break and be right back.
Come to me.
Focus Features invites you to succumb to the darkness.
Nosferatu.
From director Robert Eggers comes a masterpiece of horror.
He is coming. This creature is a force more powerful than evil. It is death itself.
Nosferatu. Rated R. Under 17nm without parent. Only in theaters Christmas Day. Special engagements in Dolby and IMAX.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
And we're back.
I've decided I might actually get people Christmas. Have you ever gone on that BKE website, the Big Nick Energy website?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's great. The merch is fantastic.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing merch. They have like Brunson 311, like Bible verses stuff, and Brunson, the vibes are immaculate. It's all good. And they're having a sale. I just don't want to walk around with a hat that says BKE on it because Big Dick Energy. Nick Energy?
Yeah, but
I'm a girl. You have to remember.
Yeah, but Big Nick Energy is not the same as Big Dick Energy.
Dick, Nick.
Yeah, but you kind of have big dick energy. You do. It's like you do. Like you're not some shrinking fucking violet.
This is true. Well, anyway, the reason I brought this up is that
and you're taller than me.
This is true. I'm shrinking though. The Knicks are doing lovely.
Yeah,
we're doing lovely again.
Except for the night that I went. They're ever
all right. But this is I
haven't been to a Knicks game in forever. They lose their next game. Cat plays and they win. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the story of my life. Yeah. Okay, every time I go to a Knicks game, it got to the point where people don't go to games, and I'm like, okay, I'll sit. No, they're great. They're having a lot of fun.
You can see that they're having a lot of fun.
They love it. They're hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could do a whole comp reel of Josh Hart's snarkyisms and Jalen Brunson playing good cop going, "You're an asshole," when Josh Hart said, "I just want the money. I don't care about the younger kids. I need to buy a watch." And popping Mike and Ike.
Tonight is the quarterfinal cup game. It's the Knicks versus the Hawks.
All right, but let me ask. I asked you this before. Does this go towards their stats?
Everything counts. Yes, everything counts for everything.
All right, this is just an extra owner greedy bonus.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is basically so Josh Hart can buy a watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because Josh Hart says he needs a watch. And some Mike and Ike's. I love that he eats. Have you ever in your life met anyone who ate Mike and Ike's? You eat Mike and Ike's?
All the time.
What do they taste like? Are they like Good and Plenty? Are they like Good and Plenty?
They have a hard sugar-coated candy shell, and on the inside it's like a gummy sort of almost, but not gummy.
All right, so they're sort of like Good and Plenty because I like Good and Plenty.
Sort of, they're like good and fruity.
Oh, okay, because Good and Plenty's tasted like licorice. That's why I like them.
Yeah, they were licorice, and Good and Fruity were the ones with fruit flavors. Like I love the sour watermelon. I love the tangerine Mike and Ike's. Yeah, I love it. I love Mike and Ike's.
Well.
They used to be for the small pack boxes. They were $0.25, and you get 4 for $1. Now it's 3 of the little boxes for 99 cents. Inflation.
Yeah, but Josh Hart probably has an inside track.
No, Miss Thing, they send him boxes of them. Do you see? And he has a special one
with his face
on them.
I want some Josh Hart, Mike and Ike's. Anyway, so we're talking about that and his money, and then what's the guy's name? Is it Jose? Is it Juan Soto? I forget.
It's Juan Soto. Don't make fun of me. Anyway, it's Juan Soto.
Right. Juan Soto is now officially making more money than God.
First of all, when I heard that,
Juan Soto could buy the Knicks with the amount of money they're going to pay him.
700 $96 million over 15 years.
But
he's got it out. He can opt out after 5 if he wants. I'm like, who signs a 50? That is an enormous amount of money.
That's a long amount of time. And
I want to say his signing bonus when he signed was he immediately got $75 million. When you hear about it's so crazy the amounts of money.
No, it's frightening.
Because if you're paying somebody that much money, how much money do you have? You know what I mean? If you're just like, all right.
Well, isn't Steve Cohen, who owns the Mets, the guys that they based Billions on?
I don't know.
I think he's one of those guys. He was like an inside trade. But the point is that the reason this is news, other than the fact that he's making more money than God, is that he was on the Yankees.
Yeah.
And it's like a sort of like, oh, I'm just going to move across town.
And he didn't take the Yankees office, which is $790 for 16 years.
But
evidently it came down to something like this. He wanted a suite for his family, and he wanted that in the contract. And the Yankees said no, because I guess Derek Jeter, when he was a Yankee, and Aaron Judge both bought the suite and paid for the suites for their families. But of course, the Mets, in his deal, gave him the suite.
They probably gave him Corona. They probably gave him the whole goddamn neighborhood or something like that. But my thing is like, and I want to, whatever. He's amazing. Okay, he's great. I'm sorry. Did the Yankees win the World Series? Was I napping when they won? I'm just saying. Usually you want to get the guy that helped them win. Did he hit lots of runs in the World Series?
I don't know. Is he a pitcher maybe or something? I don't follow.
No, he can't be a pitcher. He can't be that good a hitter if he's a pitcher.
Well, let me see. Hold on.
Pitchers don't hit.
Some of them do.
Yeah, but he's not that. He's not a pitcher.
Okay, hold on. What's his position?
His position is rich bitch. That's what his position is.
His position is. Let's see.
Well, anyway, while you're doing that, I just want to mention Teutonic one more time. Imma 5967, 20% off. Teutonic, beautiful wellness shots, which our friend Juan Soto could buy for everybody. Mom and daughter operation. We'll post the information, but yay, get healthy. All right, what is his position? And then we can move on from this child.
Well, it's definitely not a pitcher. So
he's not a pitcher. No, he's not a pitcher. He's got to be an outfielder or something.
Yeah, he hits and does all that shit.
Hits and runs, and is going to make. He could literally buy us all. All right, so It's the end of the year.
It's the end of the year.
It's the end of the year.
Even though we are going to have one more show before the end of the year, it is the end of the year. We are. Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Thanks. Oh, okay. Thanks.
Next week's show will be the last show of the year.
Would you like to tell me when we're doing this? Okay, we are doing it. Okay,
Mm-hmm,
all right.
mm-hmm.
All right. It's the end of the year. So at the end of the year, people have their end of the year lists. And so I'm just going to kind of run through. You want to just like, well, these are just some of the things. They're, are they the best records of the year? I don't know. They're the records that I was paying the most attention to and that I came back to. And what's so funny is a couple people in the show, Rob Sheffield, congratulations on your top 10 New York Times bestseller. My personal Jesus, Jan Uhelski. They both talked about MJ Letterman, and I'm like, I have to tell you, I have sort of a reaction when people tell me, when I start hearing people saying, oh my God, I'm like, yeah, fuck him. He probably sucks. Mm-hmm. So I finally put the record on, and it's freaking great. So I agree. All right. So I love the LL record, The Force.
That was a good record.
It's a good record. It's grown up, and I like it, and it,
Q-Tip produced.
What?
Q-Tip produced.
Tip produced it. It's so funny. We've been talking about Dua Lipa and how she's not making any list, and I was at freaking Target today or some store, and what do I hear when I walk in? Dua Lipa. I hear Training Season. So somebody's listening to this stuff, but I thought Radical Optimism was a really good record. Did it sound like her other records? No, it didn't. If she had put out a record that sounded like her last record, people would be like, why are you putting out the same record again?
It made my top of records to listen to. I really enjoyed
like it
the album.
A lot. I love that song, the last song on the record, Happy For You. I think that's a great song.
And you and I talked about this. I, like you, I told you I keep a radio on in my bathroom. I do different stations each week. And every station I put on, except for when I'm playing like 105 or BLS or Force, Dua Lipa plays.
She's all over the radio.
And all of the singles from this album. I hear Illusion a lot, Training Season. I hear all of the songs.
Houdini. And those are songs that we didn't, when they first came out, you and I were both, right. They grow on you.
They absolutely do.
And so I don't know, maybe it's because there were so many good women pop singers out this summer, but I just think it's a good record, and I don't know, she's made no lifts nowhere. It doesn't matter. She's touring. She sold out the Garden, 3 nights? Something
4
crazy
nights,
like that?
something like 4 or 5 nights, yeah.
So, she'll be fine without being on the New York Times or Pitchfork's best album of the year. She'll live. Pet Shop Boys, nonetheless.
Made my list, too. I mean, listen, I love that first of all, this is what they call their gay album. Now, I know you and I talked.
Wait. Pet Shop Boys are gay?
Yes. Well, this is what I appreciate. Well, Neil Tennant is. Chris has never disclosed what his sexuality is.
Oh, really?
He's never. No, only Neil.
I like that even more.
Only Neil has talked about his sexuality. Chris has not talked about his sexuality.
Well, that's good. He doesn't have to.
What I find, and it's so funny when you talk about Dua Lipa, go back before we go to this. Allison Pember and I were going back and forth about Dua Lipa because we were thinking the same thing. It felt like this era, it almost feels like something went wrong because it isn't a terrible record.
No, it's a good record.
The music was getting played all over, but it was almost like nothing
connected.
In certain way, except the song, like you said, it had to in some way because the songs they're still being played, right?
Everywhere.
And then kind of how they dropped the live album last Friday with basically nothing, not even letting anybody know it's there, to her BBC Royal Albert Hall Orchestra concert, which is actually airing here in the US this coming Sunday. Do you know that? Did you see it anywhere?
No.
But it feels like this whole era in the US has been quite odd.
She did that great documentary too, the Camden documentary,
which was great. Which you told me to watch, and I did, and it was.
Isn't
great.
It good?
It was really good.
And after watching that, you like Chris Martin again. God damn you, Chris Martin, twice in 1 year. Fuck God, damn you. But the other thing that was great, I was going to say about Dua Lipa, it's just I don't know. She connects in a way. It's almost like she gets punished for being who she is. Like, people love that she doesn't seem like highly choreographed and slick, and then at the same point they go, oh my God, she's so awkward. I think she's lovely and smart, and she's not she's almost like the old lady of the group now, which is so funny, you know.
Well, the interesting thing is, it's like, listen, she's not Janet Jackson, okay? She does it. She choreography. She's going to give you what she gives you. It's enough of what it's better than when she started, and it's enough of what she does. Now, back to Pet Shop Boys. I kind of understand when they call it their gay album, because yes, we all know that when you listen to a lot of their music, it has a gay sensibility. But I feel like before they were writing songs, and you're writing songs based on just like the subject matters of the day and what you want to talk about. This album really kind of tells it's like they're like Neil is in his 70s now, right? It feels like telling
it's men getting older,
and it feels like telling you about all of the different stages of life and being a gay man. And I really connected with that with this record. And listen, to me, they never make a bad album.
No,
even the ones that people
record.
find hard. Like a lot of people find Elysium really hard. I think Elysium is great. People find Release hard. I think Release is great.
This to me is almost like the follow-up album in some ways to Behavior.
Yeah.
In the sense that they're like
absolutely,
they're grown-up men now, and so it's not just about now being out on the dance floor. It's about being out on the dance floor and being the only one there.
Yeah,
and that is a really loneliness. Oh God, I can't love them. We can't love them more. All right, so. We both talked about Doecchi, Alligator Bites, Never Heal. We love her, right?
Yeah,
she's one of yours.
Absolutely.
And somebody else, and then I'll go back and jump in.
Vince Staples' Dark Times album.
Oh, all right. You love Vince. You love him.
Love Vince Staples. I think he is so talented.
He's really good on Abbott Elementary too,
and on his show, the Vince Staples Show, which got renewed for another season. But I think it was another really strong album. I
got to listen to it.
I always feel like he has something to say. I like that he's articulating in his raps. You can hear him, that it's not trying to chase a trend. He makes Vince Staples albums,
and he's funny. He's both serious and light at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I like the persona. He's like just sort of like this every guy type of thing.
I love that you don't really know that much about him.
I know nothing about him.
He doesn't tell people where he lives. Here's my house. Here's my thing. Here's what I have for breakfast. Look at all of this.
Is he a TDE artist too? Is he one of?
I don't believe he's a TDE artist.
All right.
No.
All right. So, not my favorite record of his. But I always have to pay attention what Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds do, and Wild God is great, and he's going to be touring, coming to the States, and it's going to be guaranteed like the hottest chicken in town, because this man, talk about somebody who, as they get older, get better. Yeah. I mean, he's literally becoming, doing amazing shows. I love the Flow record, Access All Areas.
Yeah, that's really good. We love a girl group. I love that sound. I love them. I love the Shindellas. The Shindellas
are really good.
They put out an album this year. It was good. My other one was, I really like Nilüfer Yanya. She's a UK artist. She's really, really, really good. And she put out an album this year called Method Actor that's so good. And she even has a really, first of all, it's a mashup of so many different styles. You hear so much influence from trip hop to jazz to R&B. She does a really great cover of Janet Jackson's Anytime, Any Place. It's pretty faithful and amazing. And this is how you should check her out, because your guys love her. She was the opening act on the Roxy Music 20th anniversary tour. She was their opening act.
20th anniversary?
Yeah, they had a 20th.
The 20th anniversary.
The 2022 tour.
I was going to say the 20th anniversary would have been 1980.
Right. The 2022.
All right, send me. Yeah, that's great. I definitely want to hear that.
Really, really good.
Callie Ocha's great record.
She's always great
so
too.
Cool.
She's another one who's a mash of styles and genres. Yeah. Really, really good. I like her.
And yeah, no, really interesting. Billie Eilish again. I had high school students, turning me on to her years ago. They saw something in her. I think in so many ways in the beginning, she was like their generation's Fiona Apple, and the kind of moody. She's just great. Great pop songs. Phineas and her work. It's great. Not my favorite record of the year, but a group I wanted to pay attention to because a lot of people whose opinions I respect. And I'm always kind of looking for a good rock band. Fontaines DC are like the band right now. Yeah. They did very small venues, and now they're coming back and doing stadiums, coming back around. The MJ Letterman. And we've talked about the Kendrick record. It's not a great record, but it's a really good record. And there are certain artists that deserve your attention because anything they do is going to be important. I'm dying to see what his Super Bowl show is going to be like.
Absolutely. I also have on my list Shaznay Lewis, Lewis
I remember her.
Pages. I love Shaznay Lewis. She is in the group. Who are my girls? Why am I blanking on their names right now? Pure Shores. Why am I blanking on their names right now?
Because
All Saints. And she was the primary songwriter for All Saints. And this is her second solo album. It was like 20 years in between solo albums. She released it independently. And I think it's a really, really great album.
So she's the one who didn't have children with Liam Gallagher?
No, she's the one who didn't have children, but wrote the songs because on their album, one of their Red Flag wrote a bunch of the songs about, Natalie and that whole situation. Casey Musgraves, The Architect. I thought that was a great record.
Everybody forgot about it. I thought it was a really good record.
Yeah, it was a really good record.
I love Cardinal. Really I love that song. I feel like it's like I don't know. People are weird, man. I think we've talked about this, too much music.
And no marketing, right? So it's like...
It's just too much music. I mean, it's coming at you,
But when it's not even marketed to you and it just kind of goes into streaming and each week there's a gazillion things dumped there.
I know.
What sticks? There's nothing sticks. And then I want to give a special shout out to Tinashe for her single Nasty.
She's one of those girls that just she's like the Energizer bunny.
And she finally caught another hit, so I was happy for her. And Jade for her two really outstanding singles. I'm excited for her album in 2025. Fantasy and Angel of My Dreams were top tier pop. I wish they were bigger records. Top tier pop. And my very last one is I'm going to say Cowboy Carter.
I knew you had to.
I don't, because when I first got the record and listened to it, I really enjoyed it. I understood why she did it. I thought it was important. I liked what she highlighted, bringing Linda Martell to the forefront, and Tanner and Raina and Willie and Shabuzi. So I thought it was a really great record. Do I think it is her best record? No, but I also think a good Beyonce record is someone else's great album. So I do think that it was an important record of the year, and I absolutely enjoyed it. Now, I went to go play it the other week, and I started playing it and then went on to something else. But I also realized Beyonce is not my go-to. And when it is a moment where I want to hear Beyonce, I find that I typically go, not even to Renaissance, which I played for the first time in a long time, and it sounded amazing. I usually go to 4, because I really love 4, and the 2013 self-titled album. Those are the two. That's my place where I tend to stick with her.
I listened to the record when it came out, because I obviously want to be, and I listened to it twice. I have had no interest in going back to it. I still think they did the stupidest thing possible in not putting out Bodyguard as a single. I'm like,
it feels like a missed opportunity.
It was like, I was at a party and I heard Texas Hold. And that's a great song, but I'm like, oh my God. She has never sounded as good as she does on Bodyguard. She was in a lower register. She sounded relaxed. She sounded happy. She sounded like this is the good part about being in LA. She's out. Why they didn't put that song on? That was a top 40 pop hit if ever there was one. And I'm like, what the hell? And you wouldn't have to. And she, whatever. We're not in marketing. Just a couple of TV shows I love. You want to talk about Say Nothing? This is so good, Courtney. It's about the IRA during the Troubles. It's just a fantastic, based on a true story. Somebody Somewhere, which you really do need to watch. You would love it. It's just a really genuine, it's just certain things where, it's like there's not a lot going on in this show. It's not like there's a lot. It's just about people and their lives, and it's really beautifully written. The Penguin.
Let me just say, I love The Penguin, and I watched it because a friend of mine worked on it. And you know what I realized when I was trying to go through the list of what did I watch this year? I kind of realized that I knew people years ago that used to say, I don't really watch television. I don't watch a lot of stuff. And I kind of realized I'm turned into that person. I watch sports. I love a good documentary. And occasionally I'll watch a show that my friends have worked on. But there's so many amazing shows. I just don't watch television like that anymore.
I watch way too much television.
I just watch a lot of sports is my thing. I like that. And because there's such a list of things that I know I should be watching The Diplomat, right? I should probably be watching Yellowstone. There are things that seem like...
you don't have to, but I'm just saying, I still go back
because
to the
there is
stuff.
Seemingly there is a lot of really good television.
Yeah.
But I just don't have an interest in watching television the way I used to.
Well, I will say, I don't have Netflix anymore, so I have to find things on the interwebs. And I still do watch a lot of British TV when I can find it. But The Penguin's great. I'm not a comic book girl. I could care less about that stuff. Colin Farrell just keeps getting to have to watch him and not see him, but he's so good. And Christina Milioti, is that how you pronounce her name?
Kristen Milioti. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
She was amazing as Sophia, right?
No, she was like blood curdling in this thing. And I don't go to see a lot of movies just because I can't afford them. But Honora, anybody out there, go see Honora. It is so, so good. A couple books I read that I loved. The Candy Darling biography by Cynthia Carr. It's so good, Courtney, because you're thinking, what could I possibly learn about Candy Darling? She only lived for 26 years. It's a fantastic, fantastic book. And The Freaks Come Out to Write, which is an oral history of the Village Voice. It is great.
See, I didn't know that was a book. So that is, I absolutely 1,000% want to read that.
You would love it because it's from the beginning, from the bunch of people getting together someplace to do it. She had done exhaustive interviews for years because she has people in the book who've been deceased for quite some time. And I think a lot of it is also archival interviews because she has, Pete Hamill's been dead for a long time, and Wayne Barrett is in it. There's some, and what I also like about, she was a writer, Trisha Romano at The Voice. I will tell you is when I was a freelancer. I did stuff for The Voice occasionally. When you're a New Yorker and you start writing for The Voice, you feel like you're a real New York writer. You really do. So it's a really, really, you would love it. And it's like, you can kind of breeze through it and go, I'm tired of reading about this person.
I'm actually reading 3 music books right now. I'm in the middle of Netta's book.
I'm reading that.
I've repicked up the Barbra Streisand autobiography, which I have because it was 900 pages, so I stopped. So I'm reading that, and I'm finally reading Chris France's book.
Oh, okay. We can talk about that. Yeah, that's a good book. Mm-hmm. Did you see Cher's reaction to Barbra Streisand on Graham Norton? To her stepson by marriage, which was he don't like her either. Obviously,
the energy was very much like.
Do you say it? No, I don't want to say it.
It was like, do you know her? She was like, yes,
and
that was it. But the look, and it was just kind of like it was the look of. And we all know Cher, and it's like, you know what?
No, that was her version. That was her version of Gowns.
That is why we fuck with Cher. It was definitely her version of Gowns.
Yeah. No, it was great, and no one's going to say anything. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he refers to Barbra Streisand in his memoir as the singer. First off, who wants to read his memoir? He's never done anything. He's the son of a famous person. He became an actor, and he's not I don't find Josh Brolin to be appealing on any level.
But guess
he's a good
what?
Actor.
If he refers to Barbara as the singer, I might have to read his autobiography.
Well, I went to the library yesterday because I have books on hold because that's how I do library book. I do. So I'm starting Nana's book, and I have the Cher memoir part 1.
Nice.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I love her so much. No, I mean, she's having a Cher renaissance. I'm very happy for her. She looks, so that's it. Oh, and I read Martyr by Karen Akbar. So me and Barack Obama have something else in common. All right. Anything else you want to mention before we skedaddle?
I would like to mention, if you are an investor, if you're thinking about investing, again, Pantheon's period for investment is open right now on Start Engine. It's Start Engine /offerings/Pantheon Media. All of the information is there on what you need to do to join the team and own a little piece of this show that you guys love so much. And we think it's a good investment. Amy's an investor.
I know. Go figure. You know what? I just figured, let me put my money where our mouths are.
Nice.
What the hell, right? I mean, for all you know, it could be like that person who bought Apple stock in 19. You never freaking know.
You just never know.
And Pantheon, every time I go on our Slack page, I'm like, you're doing what now? Oh, what? Really? Oh my God, this is so dope. So yes, invest. I think it'll be fabulous.
And so you know what it is. Follow us every week here on the Pantheon Podcast Network. Oh, I should say Pantheon Media now. It's really Pantheon Media.
Yes.
It's like there's sports shows. There's so much on Pantheon, guys. You need to go in there and really dig through. Like your minds will be blown. And if you're rock people, you really I don't know why you're not already following Pantheon. Pantheon has an app. Pantheon has a YouTube channel. It's all Pantheon Podcasts. So go check us out. And you know what to do. Weekly, you guys have been on our Facebook page. Really, we've enjoyed playing with you there. I'm going to let you finish all one word. We're on Instagram at I'll let you finish NY. And we're on TikTok at I'm going to let you, for now, while it's still there, I'm going to let you finish
Are they getting rid of TikTok?
Evidently in January. We have gotten rid of our Twitter page because that's just, a trash bag. And I'm sunsetting my personal Twitter account on the 31st.
Excuse me. What is taking you so long? Courtney.
The trashy stuff.
No. All right. I stopped as soon as
the 31st. It's done. I'm not going into the new year with it. As soon as he bought
that company, I stopped using it.
I'm telling you, the 31st is it. I'm sunsetting my personal account. I will not go into the new year with it. So,
are you going to go on X? Or are you going to give it the whole 9? Everything?
No, X is Twitter.
Yeah, but it's like
Blue Sky. We've had a Blue Sky. When Blue Sky first came out and you had to get those invites, we were invited and I created a Blue Sky account. We've had a Blue Sky account for months and months and months. So when everybody's like, I'm switching to Blue Sky, I just went on to it and actually was logged into it again because I created an account and had one post there.
I'm switching to abject silence. That's what I never.
Well, I'm for the next 4 years, call me Delulu because I'm just delusional. I'm just going to be acting like everything is roses and peonies. And with that, we will see you next week for our wrap-up of the year show. And maybe we'll give you some ideas for Christmas gifts and relook at some of our guests and all of the authors that have come on the show this year. We've had some really good authors on the show this year with some really great books. And maybe we should remind you guys about those because they make great stocking stuffers. And we will see you next week. Bye.